Hi everyone. So, we all have a life that is gifted to us from God. But this gift has an expiry date. Because eventually, we all have to die. And have you ever wondered what happens after we die? No one knows that, and it's still a mystery for a lot of people. Many people have different beliefs what happens after life, different approaches what happens after life, but no one has a clear answer. So today we are going to discuss some of the approaches such as hell and heaven, or the concept of reincarnation, or what science says about that. So today I have Mr. Shan and Mr. Kuljit with me, and we are going to discuss what happens after life. Hi Shan.
Well, exactly, Manad. This is true. I mean, no one really knows like what exactly happens when one die. I guess the best person to answer is dead, right? So no one really knows. There are many beliefs. I've come across many people who have different approaches towards it. So, like, what is your viewpoint on it? What do you think happens after death?
What I believe, see, I am a person who read a lot of scriptures, a lot of spiritual scriptures, and you know what I have read, I think reincarnation is a concept that we need to talk more about, we need to research more about, because there have been evidences of people who have their experiences from past life. You know, it was said in my country that when a child is small, he remembers the memories from past life, and then he cries remembering that. So what do you say? Is that, have you ever listened something like that?
Well, yes, I have heard. I believe you're talking about the Hindu mythology, wherein reincarnation is true. But then again, don't you think that some of it could be just in their head, or what do you think?
Well, I don't know. Reincarnation is called as a concept where, like, from a previous life you go into a new life, and you know what, your new self has an essence from your past life. Like, whatever your personality is, whatever you are, whatever way you do things, there is some essence from your past life. Maybe you were a person like this in your past life, something like that. So there, Eastern religions and Western religions, they both have different approaches towards reincarnation.
So what if they like created their vision on this to just get famous in the world, like to, you know, it's a kind of a myth to get like famous and like to make it like, yeah, I'm back from the dead. So what do you think?
I think that's quite funny, but you know, it's not the case. See, the scriptures have been written, and they were written like thousands and lakhs of years ago. So I don't think that that was made just to grab attention. I think there must be some evidence regarding that. That is why they were made. Some researchers think that we have a spirit, some think we don't have a spirit, some have a spirit some have an evidence of having a spirit, whereas some also have an evidence of saying that we don't have a spirit. So it's all just two groups of people arguing with each other, but we are not arguing, we are not debating, we are here to have a sensible discussion on that topic.
No, I completely agree. I mean, reincarnation, as fun and as dramatic does it sound, don't think I completely agree with you. What I believe happens after death is, well, I believe that every person has been sent to this earth with a sole purpose. And I believe in the concept of soul. So whatever we do in our life, whether it be good deeds or bad deeds, everything is written. And at the end of the day, when you die, your soul is taken out of your body and it enters like a tunnel. And in that particular tunnel, it's a white light at the end of the tunnel. And I know I might sound dramatic, but that's what I just believe. Yeah. And all your memories, all your things that you've ever done in your whole life, either it's good, bad, ugly, you see the flashes of them on top of the tunnel. And at the end of the tunnel, there's judgment awaiting for you. So if you've done like good deeds, if you've done bad deeds, at the end, it's all going to be judged. And then your soul's going to enter, I believe, either hell or heaven. And trust me, there are some people who have experienced like near-death uh, which were like announced dead for almost 28 minutes, half an hour. They were announced dead, and they have come back from life. They were by the use of medical sciences. Then they shared their experiences that they have experienced a white tunnel. All of them have one similarity, that there was a tunnel with white light at the end of it, and their soul was taken out of their body, and they've experienced a little bit of hell, which sometimes everybody keeps on asking what exactly hell is. So in description, it's like really hot and suffering. And on the other hand, the concept of heaven, it's a safe place where there's no suffering and an like eternal peace within. So I do believe in that.
So you said that like that was quite dramatic, and yeah, that may be the case. But you said that all of us have a purpose of being on this planet. So Shan, I want to ask you, what's your purpose?
Well, I'm still trying to find out mine, but I believe that just like doing good deeds and being true to myself and just helping everyone. I mean, if you do good deeds, at the end of the day, if your purpose or if your intention is good, I think it does count.
Yeah, I hope you're not being sarcastic saying that.
No, I don't think I'll be good to you, but I will try to be good to as many people as possible.
And Krijit, what's your purpose of life?
Still figuring out still. But yeah, I just want to ask you, Shan, about this. Like, I was reading some scientific researches about this, and you were talking about like how some people got out of the death like after 28 minutes or like that. So some of the researchers says like this has been like in their mind, that their mind got clotted by some insuperable force or like that, and they just woke up. But it's all about like physics, and the physicists, some of the physicists like Dr. Russell Powell said it like they are just experiencing all in the circle of physics, and there's no circle outside the physics. So I am talking about like researchers, like 40% of the researchers in the world like don't believe in God, and 45% of the researchers like scientists, and they believe in God, and they feel like there is one Almighty God. And yeah, that's kind of
Well,
funny.
then again,
Getting it out of the scientists, they are like thinking like this. And one famous scientist that you must all know.
Well, then again, I agree that science is, well, if you talk about science, science does not believe in existence of God. So in that
No,
case,
it's
but
not all true. Like, science does not believe in. It is a kind of like dietary power that is like constantly focusing on the earth or like something like that. But Albert Einstein like said it like, one life is enough for me. Like when he was asked to be like, is there any life after death? So yeah,
so what do you believe after death? What happens?
like they just said it like the body just decomposes and the soul leaves the body.
So the science agrees that there is a concept of soul or not. I'm trying to understand that from your conversation.
Like some of them believes, like I already mentioned that some of the researchers, like 40% of them, like believe in these things, like the soul leaves the body, and they have tested some of the theories on that there's some power leaving body, some electrons and photons, like some of them like concluded like that.
Oh, so you say that there is a spirit. That's what you believe after concluding your research.
No, but still, it's a collision between like myth and some theories.
So what's your conclusion? I want to ask you.
Like
You
I'm
sound a
just-
bit confused on that.
No. I'm just talking on behalf like what science says, and science
Yeah.
does not believe in like soul and purpose, like theories on that, like bodies, like
Yeah, so you say that the soul leaves the body, and is there some place that it goes, like he said, hell or heaven, or it gets reincarnated into a new form of life, or it just vanishes?
no, it does not vanish or something like that. That science is just like getting into like more and more into theories of that, like what happens after like life, what happens after like death, what if the person is like getting into. So it's like getting into some more and more theories that they want to like explore, but it's not like fully discovered yet.
Oh, so
Well, I believe that we all have our different approaches and we all have different beliefs.
And
And,
even all the religions have different beliefs. If I talk
I
about
agree.
Hinduism or like Jainism or Buddhism or Sikhism, they say that reincarnation is a process. Whereas if I talk about Christianity or Islam, they don't believe in that process. They say that we are given one life and we should make full use of that life. So that's what they believe, and that's what the other religions believe. But it's still a circle of theories which is still revolving on the earth, and no one has a clear answer on that.
Well, I agree. I think the best we can do is treat it as one life and make the most and the fullest of it. So these are some questions. Like, I know it was a healthy discussion, but like you mentioned reincarnation, you mentioned the scientific approach. I do believe in hell or heaven, but I guess we will never know until and unless we are at that point.
So if you believe in hell or heaven, I hope that you should start doing good deeds now, Shan.
well, trust me, I try. I try, but some people don't let me.
And to get science over there, we must like die.
Yeah, sure. And I hope if you go to heaven, which I don't believe so you'll be reincarnated into a good life, maybe.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
Well, that was a healthy discussion.
Yeah.
And wrapping it up, in our next segment, we have a great wildlife photographer who would be talking about his journey and his experiences. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That was
Thank
a nice
you.
discussion.
Yeah.
Everyone, my name is Shan, and welcome to the Rec Room. Today we have with us an esteemed wildlife photographer, Mr. Jamin Balda. Hi Jamin, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Shan?
I'm doing good, buddy. So Jamin, I've seen a couple of your pictures that you have clicked, and trust me, I'm a big fan. So tell me, how did you develop your passion toward this wildlife photography? I can understand it could get dangerous. So what drove you towards it?
I always liked wildlife since my childhood, but since it was my passion to capture a wildlife, I come from a place called Gir, which is surrounded by wildlife, wilderness and forests. So it started at the early age, but I didn't knew the path where to take it. So in my masters, I took the course of journalism, where I developed my passion towards wildlife photography. It started at the early age. So I would believe that since 2016, I am more passionate towards wildlife photography, and I want to pursue my career in the wildlife photography as well.
Wow, that's really nice. As you mentioned that you developed it around 2016, you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's one year that we all cannot forget, and that is 2020,
Yeah.
the pandemic, right? We all know about it.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What was the situation about the whole wildlife photographers during the COVID times?
Well, yeah, definitely it was hard for the whole world, not specifically to the photographers. But the basic essence of photography is traveling. We can say that we love to explore places, right? So as the lockdown were imposed in the whole country, photographers weren't able to travel. There were some rules of not getting in contact with the other people. So it was hard for all kind of photographers, such as portrait, architecture, everything, because
I agree.
the basic essence of the photography is taken away from them. So yeah, definitely it was hard, but as the world has overcome this monster, and I do believe that we are going on a track. Right.
Well, absolutely. I also believe that it was a tough year for photography, and as you mentioned, travel is very important for that as well. But hopefully and for surely that we are getting out of it and for the betterment of everyone. So as you mentioned, you have a great passion towards it, you are working towards it. So what do you say, like what do you think, where do you see yourself after 5 years from now?
That's a long goal. That's a long time goal. Right now, I'm an amateur. I can't say I'm a professional. So I would see somewhere where I'm actually happy, like some big organizations like NetGeo or Discovery. Even if as an intern, it would be like career goal for me, working there.
Wow, exactly, man. I mean, those are some big names, and I really wish you well, and I really hope that you go there and explore the unexplored.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, wildlife photography, and we are now in Canada, so there are a lot of national parks over here. So, which one is your favorite? Like, which is that dream destination that you would like to explore, and and what would be that one wildlife animal that you would really like to capture in your lens?
Well, yeah, definitely. Canada is covered with wildlife and wilderness all around, and it's famous for it all around the world. Yellowstone National Park is on the top of my bucket list, and I think capturing grizzly bear or polar bear would be my dream.
Wow, those are actually really good. I really hope that I could see a polar bear right in front of me. Like, those are some majestic animals,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Jamin. It was really great getting an insight of what exactly a wildlife photographer is and photography is, and especially wildlife photographer, and what are challenges you guys face. So thank you so much for being on the show.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. So thank you guys for staying tuned, and see you on the next one.